Greetings, everyone. How are you all doing? Happy Sunday. Today is fall equinox, so happy fall equinox. Yeah. Solstice. Yeah, it's the... So happy fall. Happy first day of Libra. It has been a minute since I've been live. I've been being very silent and doing a lot of listening within because... the world is changing so much. The world is changing so much right before our very eyes. And I wanted to share some of the things that I have been doing to support myself through these transits, and also to share what, according to the astrology, what's really the most important thing right now. So we have been having the South Node move through Libra, which is the sign that governs relationships, your relationship with the other. And in Western astrology, we call that the house of marriage and partnership and things like that. But most people in our culture are so externally focused that we find validation in our relationships with other people. So with the South Node moving through Libra, we are being asked gently, if for those who are listening, or we are being forced through excessive challenges to change the way we relate to others, to shift the way we relate to others. Now, how that looks as we are coming out of the dark ages, because we are coming out of a very dark cosmological experience that has made the human experience be as dark as it is. And what do I mean by dark? Shadowy, like there's just not a lot of clarity. Racism, sexism, all these, like oppression, patriarchy, all these things that we have been sourcing the reality from outside of us. We've been sourcing our power from outside of us. So because we have been in a world that's been externally focused, the dark ages is because we've not been able to perceive our relationship to ourself, to our higher self. It's not been something easily accessible, which creates these behaviors and patterns that look like war and sexism and racism and all this sort of division. But it's because of the Earth's relationship to the sun. And it's a cosmological experience that we have been at the effect of. And the behaviors and the ways that we have been expressing in this earth realm have been deeply in accordance with our relationship to light, the sun, the cosmos. And that is now changing. That is all changing. And it's been changing for a while. We have been feeling it. And now we're watching our systems collapse. We're watching our old ways of being dissolve. And so the South Node moving through Libra has been asking us to shift our relationship, because the North Node is in Aries. And this is about the self. And this energy is so opposite of everything that we have ever known. It's so outside of the constructs of all the ways that we have been functioning up till now. So it's very difficult to tap into for most of us at this point, because it's so extreme from how we have been functioning up till now. We have been very codependent, external, basing our sense of self on what people think of us, basing the choices that we make for ourselves on if we could make enough money at this, or if this job is something that the culture, like we have been doing relationships the way Everyone else, it's expected that you get this certain age and you get married, and everyone has been functioning in this way where the constructs, where the rules, where the systems that have been established are linked to external ideas, external a sense of belonging. Our individuality has been co-opted because we have been conditioned from birth to choose to belong rather than to choose ourself. and that has caused a lot of suffering for many of us. For most of it, we have suffered because of that. But it's something that is in our family systems. We're born into it, and everyone's doing it. So there's nothing you can do except suffer or go along. So this external reality is beginning to end. And cosmologically, so they're talking about another moon coming in, like there's no history of us having another moon, another asteroid come into our solar system. Like, this is because we are living at, they don't know, you know what I mean? And they don't know that this is a moon. They don't know this. We're just being given information so that we are not reactive and fearful. There's just a need from external forces to attempt to control, right? Which is why we have lived this very external life. Because if you have a relationship with your internal self, if you become highly related, connected to the source of the divine within you, you will have the answers. You will have the answers. So there has been a great benefit in teaching you to need to belong, teaching you to want to fit in, teaching you to forego your own internal wisdom for the sake of the belonging. There has been a great effort towards that, and because of it, many of us are ignorant now. And we don't understand what's happening. So basically, the cosmos is changing, literally, changing so much so that they're saying another moon is going to come in. All of this reality is shifting. And what you need to do for yourself, the thing that will best support you, right, is going inside of yourself, learning to trust yourself, understanding how you relate to the greater reality, because it's no longer a one size fits all. It used to be that, this is what beauty is, and this is what beauty not, and this is what wealth is. Everything was geared towards these external agreements, but now consciousness is becoming the ruler. And what is that? Consciousness is God. It is the great creator of all. It is source, right? And so your relationship to consciousness is going to be the power that you get to establish in yourself and in your life. But it is only through your recognition of your own power within you. You can no longer source your power outside of you. It no longer matters what other people think, because there's not going to be this collective standard any longer. The collective standard is collapsing. So you can't look to another person to find your value, to find your belonging, to find your sense of self or your well-being. It was long established, we have this medical industry. For instance, there is a medical complex, right? And all of the systems of wellness that they have established in our medical complex were extracted from the study of a white man's body. That's a one size fits all. So white men can go to the doctor and have possibly a better experience than anyone else, but we are all individuals. So you will no longer be able to source this one size fits all. This is health. This is education. All of it is collapsing. All of it is dissolving. And so now you are left to yourself. You are it. And most of us don't know ourselves. Most of us don't like ourselves. We are thriving and striving for the approval of others. We are vampiric in our energy. We need to have someone else along with us in order for us to feel justified. I watch it in myself constantly. I'm constantly watching myself, as I'm being directed from inside, needing somebody else to validate it, needing to be approved of by another. And as this age of Aquarius begins and Pluto moves into Aquarius, that is literally over with. So interesting. We have been having earthquakes here in California lately. This is earthquake place. And I really have this internal this yumminess that shows up in my system when an earthquake happens. I'm not saying that it's not a little but something in it feels so divine to me. So there's so much majesty in it. And I was just moved to go and talk to the earth and be with the earth and just be like, oh, look at how much power you have. Oh my God, this is so amazing. And where everyone else is so afraid and this is going to happen and this, and what they're doing, and what they're doing is what they're led to do. But when we understand that consciousness is running this system, these old outdated ideas of separation and us not being connected to the systems of nature and the experiences of nature is done with. We are as much the earthquake as the earthquake we're experiencing. You are as much connected to the tornado and the patterns of weather as you are, choosing the food to eat or the people to talk to. You are a part of it all. You are a part of it all. And when you don't think that you are a part of it all, you drive your life through a narrative and an experience of separation that will create suffering within you. Because we are moving out of the age of separation. We're moving out of the age of darkness. We're moving into this age of Aquarius and a golden age that it's going to be hard fought for in people's individual experiences. The universe is doing it no matter what. If you are going to come along, you will have to source your wisdom, your medicine, your love, your power from within you. You can no longer source it from outside. It is done with. It is over. And so, this is why it's important. From my perspective, this is why I do people's natal charts for them. This is why I teach people how to heal the trauma and source their energy from something deep within them, because we are moving from one age to the next and it's not going to be available. And this is why we see people going crazy and people committing suicide, and because they don't understand that the answers are not external. They are not any longer. You used to be able to go to someone and say, I need help with this, and they could help you, and it would give you the illusion that, because we think our problems are external. If there's one thing that I have discovered doing this work, as I'm sitting with people and I hear them saying, oh, I'm having a health challenge, or, oh, my relationship is struggling, or, oh, my work stuff. And I look at their chart and I see that, oh, their health challenge is really something that's unfinished in their karma with their father. And you can go to the doctor, but that system is not going to cure it, because it's really internal. There's really a breakdown in your self-esteem. There's really, some sort of disturbance in your ability to be faithful. Like there's really, we have been so conditioned that everything is outside of us and the solutions are outside of us, that we don't recognize that really we are generating our external world from inside of yourself. And so if your body is breaking down, if your relationships are breaking down, if your finances are breaking down, it is because there is something going on internally that is sourcing that. I have been in experiences where, someone had a child who committed suicide. And I'm looking in the charts to see what's going on in this family system. And I see that, there is sexual deviance in this family. This family has what we would call sexual deviancy, meaning that their idea of sexuality doesn't align with what's culturally acceptable. So, because, what's culturally acceptable is one man and one woman, and that's it. You know what I mean? And so their energy sexually functions in ways that are far beyond what's culturally acceptable. And so they go about suppressing it. They go about pushing it down and trying not to be this or not to like this or not. And what happens is then they have a child who is dealing with that very same energy. And it shows up as they are gay, but because that in that system, that feels like sexual deviance because it has been so suppressed for so many generations. So then that child can't work it out because no one has worked it out, and that child doesn't have the language, the understanding, the clarity to work it out, and then they commit suicide. Like, everything that is ailing you in your physical world is sourced inside of you. And we are moving into a time when you will no longer be able to look outside of you and say, that's what's making me sick, or that's what's making me, or they did that. It's over with. It's over. And so the work is to go within. The work is to know yourself, to exhaust your relationship with yourself. Why are you afraid to be alone? What happened to you? What's going on with you? Why do you feel? This is how we do it. And so as the North Node will be in Aries for about 3 more months. We have 3 more months of the North Node in Aries. And you, hold on a second. My aunt, I am doing something right now. Can you please stop it? Stop. Yeah, I'm talking. You want to come and tell them? Okay, well, all right. So the North Node will be there until January. And so we will have just a few more months to really begin the work of self-awareness, becoming conscious of your relationship to the greater reality. What are you here for? What's your mission? What's your purpose? What are you up to? You know what I mean? And this is not like you can be here to just play all day, right? But you need to know that. And if you're not playing all day, then you need to get busy playing all day. Like, you have to know your own code and your natal chart. Astrology is a place to start. It's not the only place to start, but it is a place to start. And I encourage you all, you can come get readings with me. I'm available. And, the next thing after doing that, after really knowing yourself, rest. People need to rest. People's nervous systems are shot. People are afraid. People are filled with terror and confusion and disbelief and and fear and pain and ancestral trauma. And the only way to align that is rest. You've got to rest. You've got to rest. You've got to know yourself, which means telling yourself the truth. You've got to rest. You've got to prioritize yourself. All this relational stuff. Very few people right now need to be focused on relationships. Very few. Very few people. Unless you're in some like really high level responsible relationshiping, like people who are responsible, you don't need to be in a relationship. Like two people who know that we are here to share. We are equals. I'm in service to you. You're in service to me. But all the servitude and ownership and all that stuff is done with. You can't do it no more. There will be pain. There will be pain. It's just done with. So you need to learn what's your style of relating. What's your style? Like, how do you best access your own code? Like how to learn to listen to yourself. There's just so much information about yourself that you need. So I hope that you guys are doing well. I have been, since I had such a profound time in Bali, like Bali changed my life. I got to see a deep shadow that I was carrying, that I had been carrying all my life. I had a shadow of accommodating people in their shadows. I had a shadow of like being with people and making them feel okay for being fucked up. I had a shadow of that. And it's because I grew up in an environment. This cat won't stop. Stop it. Because I grew up in an environment where I dealt with people who hurt me and who hurt themselves all the time. So I had created an acceptance of that. And I saw that in Bali. I saw where I overcompensate for others. And I have been doing the work to be silent. You know, I don't have no more friends. I really don't have any more friends. And I'm okay with it. I don't need any more friends. I see that women are extraordinarily abusive to themselves and to others. For the most part, generally women are abusive to themselves and others, just by the nature of the system that we're in. It's no one's at fault here. No one's at fault, but we are all responsible. That's the thing. We all inherited these things, but we're all responsible for how it showed up in your reality. And that's what I have been looking at. And so if you guys want some support, I'm here to support you. Jade, I'm so happy to see you here. I feel like our last communication was wonky and I have been going through it. I don't feel like I need to apologize, but I do want to acknowledge that it was a wonky communication because I've been in a real thing around learning how to communicate effectively and lovingly with people without denying my own self, without denying myself. And so I just want to acknowledge that. Anyway, y'all, I love y'all. Y'all can go check out my calendar at healwithmoonmama.com, healwithmoonmama.com. And I love y'all all so very much. We doing it. The whole world is about to change, y'all. Like everything is about to change. People's superpowers coming on board. They talking about it's a second moon. That ain't no second moon. I'm going to just say, that's not a second moon. That's not a second moon. So take care of yourselves. All right, y'all. I love y'all so very much. Bye, Matthew. Peace and blessings. Bye-bye.